Good afternoon and welcome to Flannel Hill Farm. So today we are planting some of the trees. We're gonna put a fig tree down here and put some pears on the other side of the fence up towards the house. So what I'm doing is this is cow and horse manure. I'm gonna put some of that in this box because I'm gonna mix some of this cow and horse manure in with the native soil that the trees and bushes came with, as well as some of our native soil and some blood meal. Now this is a very good organic natural way of fertilizing your plants. However, it's very potent, so you don't want very much. So I'm just gonna mix that up, make sure that it's all incorporated together so that this tree doesn't get confused. We want the tree to naturally grow into the native soil and not get bombarded with nutrients or new stuff. So we're going to work on that. As you can see, this hole is much bigger than it needs to be. We need to keep the soil level roughly the same. You don't want to fully bury this tree because a tree, unlike a tomato plant, already has its stipulated root to stem, root to trunk ratio. A tomato plant you can put deeper and it'll grow more roots off of what would be the trunk of the tomato plant. Trees are different, so we are going to make sure that we fill some of this in so that our hole is not so big. You want to make sure that when you plant this tree or any bush, that you're not bending or twisting any of the roots. You want them to be able to continue to grow the way they were growing and not be hindered in any way by soil, the ground, rocks, stuff like that. You want them to at least be able to get started on their own and move from there. So we're gonna do that. Now down where these roots are, we are going to spread our mixture, trying to keep that close, and the native soil on the bottom. You don't want to compact it because you don't want the roots to hit resistance right away either. So we're going to fill this in, making sure that this tree can easily get nutrients to easily start back growing a good root system. We're also looking at keeping kind of a divot here. It'll hold moisture, it'll hold water for the tree so that the tree can actually soak up all of that moisture. A lot of people will they'll kind of make a dam with rocks or with wood chips. What we're going to do is we're gonna leave a little bit of a divot and then we'll put wood chips in and we'll make up that divot in wood chips. That way wood chips will hold on to moisture, keep it shaded so that the soil stays moist, and it'll double as a moisture barrier. So there's our fig tree. Again, you want to leave it pretty loose so that it can grow. And then if you had bigger trees, you would need to stake that tree, make sure it stayed upright. You want to protect it from predators such as deer, bunnies, stuff like that. Luckily, we have a Creed, a Kona, a KK, and a Bentley that pretty much keep most of our predators away. So Again, this would be not a very good thing to like plant right where you're gonna house your chickens. Chickens are basically little velociraptors that will annihilate things, so keeping them away from that. You also want to keep the grass away from your little tree or little bush. That way it has no competition for nutrients. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more of this blood meal on top of the soil so that when I water it, it can sink down into the soil. There's that. We got all of these other ones to do. We're working on it. I am feeling a little better. Got a little bit more hearing. It's a little less irritable with pressure changes and elevation changes, so that's a good sign. Just really just trying to get things done and rest. I'm pretty terrible about the resting thing, so I'm working on it. We'll see what happens. So down here, what do we have? Raspberries, which I don't think I have raspberries. Oh, did we buy raspberries? Because I could put plums with elderberry. Hey, get out of there. Thank you. Good girl. Good girl, Kona bear. That's a Kona bear. I could put our plums with our elderberries, and I could put our figs with our raspberries. That'd be kind of a cool combination, purple and red. Okay, raspberries it is. So, this tree, do we have blackberry, raspberry, and raspberry. So, raspberries, little poinky. That's what Kevin calls it. They get little prickly things on them. They're not fun. I don't recommend it. So when you're handling raspberries, be careful. Raspberries, blackberries, gooseberries we talked about yesterday are terrible. Those things are gnarly. Although I would much rather have something with thorns than without thorns. Only because they can protect themselves if they have thorns. Hey, that's not yours. Thank you though. I appreciate it. So, we're gonna get to planting these. Same thing. I'm gonna follow the same rules as I did with the tree for the bushes. The holes are, you need the hole, like I said, the bigger the hole you make, the more that it can grow without hitting hard earth. So the bigger the hole you can make, the better off you're gonna be. But I wouldn't go too big, because you want it to eventually interact with your soil. It'll keep it sturdy, keep it solid. So that's what we're gonna do. Raspberries. Now I told you that we were gonna put the trees 3 feet from the fence, and I was just gonna follow the berries that way. However, raspberries, we're not gonna do that way. I'm gonna put them a little closer to the fence because they climb. And so instead of putting up stuff for it to climb, it's gonna climb the fence. So we're gonna get to getting on that. The thing I told you that Big K bought is a pickaxe. Big K gave me my very easy, very in-depth lesson on using this and making sure that the dogs are not in the way when you're using this, because this is very sharp. It's a 5-pound weighted pickaxe, and it will harm or cause fatality to a critter. So we're gonna make sure that the dogs are off playing somewhere else with dog toys and not over here by the pickaxe. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm trying to get as many of these in the ground as possible, as quickly as possible, in hopes that I don't kill them in their little plastic bags. Yeah, I really don't want them to die, so that's what we're working on. Oh, I'd have bought a lot more of these had I seen that. This DeGroot is an American company, and it's veteran owned. It's a product of the USA. I think I'm gonna go back and get more of these. Oh, these are both DeGroot. They just look different. Huh, okay. Well, that might weigh into my decision of what I'm gonna use. The things I learn when I'm talking to you guys. It's fantastic. All right, I'm gonna get on with this. I'm gonna let you guys get on with your night, your day. I hope you guys are having a good spring weather start to your spring. And we will see you all in the next one. On your way back down the hill, we're more than halfway down it for you. If you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting that little bell notification button thing. And please remember, we appreciate y'all.